Hey guys, John V here with PhoneArena, and this is a first look comparison between the LG G7 ThinQ and the Google Pixel 2 XL. We're not the only ones who feel this way, but the Pixel 2 XL's design isn't for everyone. You have that unusual two-tone back, and its appeal is something that's acquired over time. While in comparison, the G7 ThinQ has a more modern appeal because of its glass meets metal construction. They also share a few commonalities like their rear-mounted fingerprint sensors, USB Type-C ports, dedicated power buttons, and volume controls. But there are a few things we still like about the G7 ThinQ's design. For starters, it has a higher IP68 rating versus only IP67 with the Pixel 2 XL. And on top of that, you have the convenience of a headphone jack. Over on the specs side, the G7 ThinQ packs a 6.1-inch Quad HD Plus full vision display that's 1440 by 3160 pixels, while the Pixel 2 XL sizes up with a 6-inch Quad HD Plus plastic OLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 2880 pixels. Now, there is a pixel density advantage with the G7 ThinQ, but honestly, both are still detailed, especially from normal distances. What's interesting though is that the ThinQ's display is reported to reach a peak brightness output of 1000 nits. Yes, the bezels around the Pixel 2 XL's display are a little bit thicker, but the G7 ThinQ also has that notch, which can be a distraction of its own, but luckily there's an option in the settings menu where you could actually mask it. The main advantage of going with the Pixel 2 XL is that you're going to get a stock Android experience, and on top of that, it's going to get the latest and greatest updates before any other phone. Whereas with the G7 ThinQ, it does have a slight customization with its Android experience, but there are some helpful features in tow with it. And they really focus on some of the new integrated AI features that you mostly will see in the camera, the voice integration, and some home appliances. Since it's the newer phone, the G7 ThinQ leverages the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor with 4GB of RAM, but don't count out the Pixel 2 XL because its Snapdragon 835 chip with 4GB of RAM is still one of the fastest and most responsive things out there. Obviously, both handsets are going to be equipped for gaming and pretty much any other intensive task, but there might be a slight advantage with the G7 ThinQ because, of course, it is running the newer processor. And while both phones are offered with 64GB of internal storage, it's only the G7 ThinQ that can expand that with its microSD card slot. For a phone that only packs a single 12.2 megapixel camera, the Pixel 2 XL is just a phenomenal phone for still photography, being one of the best out there. It takes some beautiful looking portrait shots, and that's without the aid of a dual camera system. That's what you're going to find with the G7 ThinQ. It features a pair of 16 megapixel cameras, but the main advantage here is that wide angle secondary one. It will offer a little bit of diversity when it comes to compositions, and just like the Pixel 2 XL, it will offer a portrait mode with both the back and front facing cameras. When it comes to recording video though, there's no arguing that the G7 ThinQ is going to offer a more compelling package because you're going to have true manual video controls and a bunch of different cine effects at your disposal, whereas with the Pixel 2 XL, it's basically an automatic experience. You're not going to have other tools or features at your disposal. But don't count it out still because its quality can still rival some of the best out there. When it comes to battery capacities, it's the Pixel 2 XL that has the larger 3520 mAh battery, while the G7 ThinQ has a 3000 mAh one. We know that there is an advantage on paper for Google's offering, but it's anyone's guess how the G7 ThinQ will perform. On top of that, LG's offering has the added convenience of wireless charging, which is something you won't find with the Pixel 2 XL. In the Android landscape, the Pixel 2 XL reigns supreme for a variety of reasons. It has clout amongst the masses, you have a simple and straightforward stock Android experience, it's great at taking photos, and it harnesses all of Android's vast ecosystems. And even at $850, it is a pricey cost, but there's a reason why for that. Conversely though, we don't know the pricing for the LG G7 ThinQ, but we're really hoping to find it under the Google Pixel 2 XL. And when you factor in its new dual camera system, its focus on AI integration, the inclusion of its headphone jack and wireless charging, it does make for a compelling package. And that is it guys. If you want to learn more about either handset, you could check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V, signing off.